Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pokemon Premier League Division 2 Season 4 Week 2. This week we are playing OnesieBanette of his Birmingham Spritzee. I am RichaadEB, manager of the Nidoqueens Park Rangers, and if you guys haven't seen my team builder for this match, you should definitely go and check that out. Before we get into the game, real quickly, we are currently 12th in the league table, which is last, thanks to our 4-0 loss last week. So we're hoping we can come back and come back in a fighting way this week against Alex. But Alex also lost last week, so one of us is getting our first win this week regardless, and one of us is going to be getting our second loss, which is great. So if you guys don't know what team I'm bringing, really quickly, I've got my physically defensive Licky, I've got a Specs Azelf, a Spadef Curse Piloswine, a physically defensive Celesteela, Shell Smash Barbaracle, and my Trickstery Prankster T-Wave copycat thing, Lipard. Yeah. Alex's team that he decided to bring to this match was Hariyama, Silvally, Mega Scizor, Alamomola, Tapu Koko, and Garchomp. Pretty much everything I was scared of. The Silvally, I was expecting to be Silvally Dark to try and deal with my Azelf a little bit better, but I still know that Hariyama does me an ow, so I'm very much looking out for Hariyama as well, because it destroys me. So yeah, I decided, seeing that I don't have a switch into Hariyama, I was thinking that Alex might see that one coming and lead with Hariyama, because it destroys me, so that would be good. Before we get into the match though, links will be in the description to the person who gemmed my team for this week, and thank you to Kino for doing the thumbnails, and there'll also be links to the PPL fan Discord server. You can join that if you haven't joined yet, become a fan of my team, keep up to date, chat with the managers and other PPL fans and such and stuff and things. And there's also going to be a link to the TeePublic, the PPL TeePublic. You can go and buy some merchandise from any of your favourite managers, but especially NPR stuff, because that's what you should do. So you can buy, you know, your mugs and your t-shirts and your phone cases and whatever else. It's all on there, so go check it out. It's good fun. But, as I said, I expected the Hariyama lead, so weirdly, I'm going to lead with my Licky. Because, if you haven't seen my team builder, well, I've got a little trick up my sleeve that I'm hoping to pull off on the first turn. So, let's get into this game. So, like I said, I'm going to lead with my Licky, expecting the Hariyama, because I have something that I think will catch him by surprise. And I do lead with my Licky. Sativum, out he comes, with his full Wi-Fi signal, and he is going to lead with his Hariyama, which is awesome. So, I want him to click Close Combat here, really badly. And he does. He goes for the Close Combat. My Chople Berry activates. I'm going to nom on that one. The Close Combat comes in, does just over half. He gets those defense drops, and we can see he is Life Orb, but none of that really matters, because right now I'm going to fire off a counter, and turn 1, Hariyama is dead, which is just fantastic. Probably the biggest threat on his side to the team that I have brought, because I don't have a switch in, is now dead. But this does grant him a free switch into his Tapu Koko, and from this range I am in range from a Thunderbolt, so I'm going to look to go into my Piloswine, because it's probably the best thing I have to take a hit from this Tapu Koko. So I'm going to go into Piloswine here, hoping he doesn't click U-turn, and he doesn't, he clicks Thunderbolt, which is great. So now, I was thinking he's probably going to U-turn if he has it, but he hard switches, so I was thinking he might be choiced at this point. I'm just going to fire off an Earthquake, a safe Earthquake, for now, and I did see the Alamomola switch coming, but I didn't want to make too many aggressive plays at the start of the game. So I'm going to get some decent damage on that Alamomola, but that does tell me that it is physically defensive, which is a bit annoying, really. So now, expecting either a Scald or a Knockoff, I'm going to switch it out into my Celesteela. I don't want my Piloswine losing its Eviolite, and Celesteela doesn't mind too much getting burnt. I mean, it does, but I'd rather it didn't. But the Knockoff comes in anyway, lose my Lefties, which is probably the best thing on my team to lose its item. So now he's going to get some leftover recovery, and I am just going to fire off a Leech Seed, because if he stays in with the Alamomola, I'm going to get some big recovery back off that. And I can just Leech Seed whatever comes in, because he doesn't have a Grass type, apart from Silvally Grass, which as you can see, it isn't. It's actually Silvally Normal, which threw me off a little bit. I saw after this turn finished that it was Silvally Normal, which I was fully expecting Silvally Dark, so that kind of threw me off a bit. I was like, okay, maybe he's like Scarfed, maybe I don't really know what he could be, honestly. So I'm just going to go into my Licky Licky, because I can like take a hit the best from this thing. I was expecting the parting shot A, but he is going to go for the electric terrain boosted Thunderbolt, and I do live it. And we can see from that damage, I know he's max special attack. He's either like modest or expert belt or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty certain that he's modest at this point. So I'm going to switch on out back into my Piloswine, expecting another T-Bolt to try and knock me out, but he catches me on the switch and goes for a Surf, but this does hilariously little damage because I'm a specially defensive Piloswine. So yeah, I'm going to get some more Leech Seed recovery as well, wearing down this Sylvalia a little bit. So Piloswine's a little bit weakened, but it's okay, I don't mind it too much. And now he is going to go for a parting shot on the Sylvalia. And I'm just going to fire off an Earthquake here. I know the Alamona could come back in with his regen. It's going to be healthy again, but I don't really care. It's going to be a -1 Earthquake. It's not going to do too much to anything. I just basically didn't want to allow the Tapu Koko to get a free switch in because Tapu Koko kind of destroys me a little bit. I'm just going to fire off a -1 Earthquake. It's going to do nothing to this Scizor. And it's going to allow him to Mega Evolve on this turn. I'm going to go into my Celesteela because it is the best thing I have to switch into my Mega Scizor, into his Mega Scizor I should say. It's what it's designed for, is to switch into Mega Scizors, and he is going to Mega up this turn, and he is in fact going to go for the U-turn, which is a smart play. I expected the U-turn, but I didn't really have any other play than to like just go into Celesteela, because I didn't want Piloswine getting too worn down. It's going to do basically nothing, which is nice. But this is going to allow him to go back on out into his Tapu Koko once again. And obviously he's going to throw me out. I can't lose my Celesteela because if I lose Celesteela, Mega Scizor absolutely annihilates me. So I need to keep Celesteela around. So I'm going to go on out and I'm going to go into, my best switch into this thing, which is my Piloswine. Really hoping he didn't have U-turn. He's going to go for the Nature's Madness and he's going to miss, which really sucks for him. I'll explain why at the end of the match, but that miss really was sucky for him. But now I'm going to switch on out into my Azelf, expecting another Nature's Madness, but he is in fact going to go for the U-turn, which is a little bit annoying. Sorry, not expecting Nature's Madness, I was expecting him to hard switch. He hadn't revealed the U-turn at that point, and I was thinking if he is still choiced, you know, maybe he'd go for the, he'd hard switch there. But alas, he did not, and he goes for the U-turn, going to get big damage off of me. He's going to go for a Fire Blast on his Garchomp, he's going to miss again, and I'm going to U-turn out. You can see the Garchomp outspeeds me. Again, I will come back to that one later. So I was thinking potentially he's Scarfed on his Garchomp. Potentially, and I wanted to see if he was Scarfed or not. So I'm going to go into my Lipod, I'm going to go for a Play Rough. I do outspeed him, so he's not Scarfed, and I get some nice damage off on it, but I am going to go down to this Earthquake from the Garchomp. Yeah, Lipod wasn't really doing too much in this game, if I'm honest, so I don't really mind losing it, but I get some damage off on Garchomp in the process. But now, I'm a little bit scuppered here, because I now have nothing that outspeeds this Garchomp. Knowing that it outspeeds my Azelf, I have nothing to outspeed it. The only thing I do have is Celesteela that can take a Fire Blast. I don't want to take a Fire Blast, but I can, and I can knock out this Garchomp with a Heavy Slam. But he is going to not go for the Fire Blast, he's going to go for the Stealth Rocks and get them up before he dies to this Heavy Slam, which is pretty nice for me. Celesteela picking up a kill, Garchomp goes down. But unfortunately the Stealth Rocks are up, which are going to pressure quite a lot of things, especially because I don't have removal. Going to get the Beast Boost into my defense, but it doesn't really matter, because once again, it gives him a free switch back into his Tapu Koko, and again, I cannot risk my Celesteela, it's far too important, because otherwise, Mega Scizor just sweeps. So the Electric Terrain is going to come back up, and I'm going to switch on out again, because I literally don't have another play. I'm going to go back into my Piloswine again, because I have to, and going to take some Stealth Rock damage this time, and he's going to go for the Thunderbolt this turn, which is nice. Not going to get knocked out just there. Now he's going to fire off the U-turn, which I wish he'd done before, because then I would have known he has U-turn and I wouldn't have switched to Mazaf on it. He's going to get a crit on the U-turn, but it doesn't really matter too much. And he's going to go on out into his Mega Scizor. Now I needed to make some plays at this point to get myself back in the game, so I'm going to go for a Curse! Yay! Curse Piloswine coming through. Now I know I can take a Bullet Punch, because I'm at +1 defense now. And I'm going to elect to try and get some health back. So he's going to go for the Bullet Punch. As you can see, we can live it, no problem. And I'm going to go for a Rest, which it can't do in Electric Terrain. I suck at this game so badly. And now he's going to come in with another Bullet Punch, and he's going to knock out my Piloswine. I kind of just had to sack it off there after the failed Rest attempt. That was a little bit sucky, if I'm honest. I kind of forgot that you can't sleep in electric terrain, so my rest failed, and Cursed Piloswine did nothing, but hey-ho. In comes the Celesteela, and I forgot at this point as well, I was kind of still on tilt from the rest electric terrain shenanigans. I forgot that I'd speed crept an uninvested Mega Scizor, so I could have gone for a flamethrower there, but I didn't because I thought I'd be slower. I expected him to U-turn out and I wanted to Leech Seed whatever came in, but unfortunately I go for the Leech Seed, and he's going to get a slow U-turn out into his Tapu Koko once again. And that's not good at all, because I just screwed up on 2 turns consecutively, and it's given him all of the momentum. And now I'm just going to have to sack off my Licky, because I kind of have to. I have nothing else at this point. And he is going to elect to U-turn, not T-Bolt, which was surprising. But he's going to U-turn out. My Licky's going to go down, and he's going to go on out into his Silvally once again. This is my only chance to potentially set up with Barbaracle, so I'm going to take it. I have to hope that he cannot kill me with a Thunderbolt, and I'm going to have to set up a Shell Smash. Even if I do live the Thunderbolt, I'm going to die to a Bullet Punch, so I don't really know what the point of setting up here was, but I'm going to do it anyway because I can. So I'm going to die to the Thunderbolt. Barbaracle does not live. It was a roll. In fact, it was exactly the same roll as the Hyper Voice from Sylveon in week 1, and I died both times, which is cool. Now I'm going to bring in my Azelf. I know I can knock out this Silvally with a Psychic. I could have predicted the Mega Scizor to come in to take the Psychic and go for the Flamethrower, but honestly, I just wanted to kill what was in front of me, and luckily he does stay in. I'm going to get the kill with Azelf, which is nice. Specs Azelf doing a thing, but now he can just bring in his Tapu Koko, and he's just going to be able to clean up with Thunderbolts because I don't have anything else. I've just got my Azelf and my Celesteela. Both of them died to a T-Bolt, and that is going to be the game. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose 3-0 this week. So Tapu Koko really destroyed me. I think this one was a combination of my prep and my play that made me lose, because... Okay, let me explain the speed thing on Azelf, because my Azelf was speed creep specifically to outspeed anything that wanted to speed creep my Mega Garchomp. So for example, his Garchomp and his Landorus Incarnate that would want to speed creep my Mega Garchomp, which is a fair enough thing to do, my Azelf would then outspeed those guys. That allowed me to have a plus special attack boosting nature, so I thought it was worth it. Now Alex, for some reason, brought max speed Garchomp. For no reason at all. He originally wanted to bring a Scarf Chomp, and we still don't know what the max speed was for. He changed his item, he was Yachi Berry, and... for some reason he was max speed, so he was able to outspeed my Azelf, but yeah, there was really no reason for him to bring max speed at all. So I'm happy with my speed creeping, but it cost me. So I probably won't get cheeky with my speed creeping ever again, because that's like the second time that's happened to me. So I was a bit annoyed at that. Not that it would have made a difference, because I would have got a U-turn out. That's the thing, it would have made a difference, because I'd have U-turned out against the Garchomp. I don't know what I would have gone into. I could have gone into the Celesteela and he might have caught me with a Fire Blast, but again, he might have missed like he did in the actual battle. So, if I'd have U-turned and been faster than Garchomp, I could have then brought back in my Azelf on a free switch, and I'd have had something to take down the Garchomp. The main problem with bringing in my Celesteela against the Garchomp was I knew I'd have to take a Fire Blast because I had nothing to outspeed it. I also think that one of my biggest problems was I had nothing to outspeed Tapu Koko. I had no Scarfers that wanted to outspeed Tapu Koko, which was a big problem because he just came in and U-turned and T-bolted against everything, and he had no reason not to, because it just destroyed me. I didn't have much to take it. What I did have was my Piloswine, which Piloswine doubled as dealing with the Tapu Koko and also dealing with the Landorus Incarnate that he didn't bring. So it would have been a fairly good stop to the Landorus, which he didn't bring, but for the Tapu Koko it actually wouldn't have stopped it because he missed that Nature's Madness, and if he'd have hit it he would have revealed what he had next, and that was the Fairium Z Dazzling Gleam, which would have knocked me out. So that Nature's Madness miss really sucked for him because he would have been able to get rid of Piloswine really early, which sucks. But yeah, it was just a combination of me not prepping for the right things. Like, I'm really happy with my Chopper Berry counter Licky because Hariyama annihilated me and there was nothing I could do about it. The difference was that Tapu Koko destroyed me and I could have prepped for it and I didn't because I was too worried about Hariyama. So I just kind of left it at Piloswine, which was not the best stop to it, especially because I got worn down really quick. What with taking U-turns from Tapu Koko and taking Stealth Rock damage and things like that, it was just... And then the rest misplay was just bad. So it's a combination of my prep and my play that made me lose this week. I'm really hoping I can fix it, because I don't want to have another season of terribleness. But, you know, we'll see how it goes, I guess. A good game to Alex regardless. Still a fun game. It had its highlights, let's say. And there was basically no hacks in this match. That's a lie. He misses Nature's Madness in his 5 loss. There was no hacks that influenced the result. Like, if he'd have hit those, he would have probably won by more. But, I don't know. There wasn't any hacks that I think won him the game. He won because he played well and prepped well, not because he got hacks, if that makes sense. Because all the hacks came in my favour. So that was good. But yeah, this game kind of sucked for me in terms of prep and play, because I felt like I could have won that game if I'd have played things a little bit differently. Barbarical failing to set up again. Bit sucky, that one. Just so you guys know, by the way, in test matches that I've done before these games, in week 1, Barbarical swept in a test match, and in week 2, Barbarical swept again. So it's working in test matches, it's just not working in the actual matches, which sucks. But we'll have to see if Barbarical can come through later on in the season. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this week, guys. Once again, links are in the description to all of the PPL managers. Make sure to go check those links out. All the links I mentioned before, to the fan Discord, to the TeePublic, to the Twitter link for the guy who joined my team. Everything will be down there below in the description. Make sure to go check all those links out. That's going to be it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, you can, of course, leave a like. You can, of course, subscribe for more content as well coming soon. And hopefully, I'll see you guys sometime soon.